All right, so it is slow season and we want to know how can we get more leads, more business, more money into our company because we want to take care of our employees, right? We want to take care of our family. And we're running an HVAC business and it's very seasonal. What if I told you there is a way to predict exactly how much money you can bring in by doing a certain thing? And there is a way. And I call these money levers. I'm going to show you exactly how to pull a certain lever and get an exact amount of money that's predictable, right? So there's a couple things we need to know. We need to go beyond just what marketing do I have to do. That's only half of the equation. A lot of times what we do is we say, oh, I'll try Facebook ads. I'll try postcards. Let's go a little bit beyond. Let me give you an example. In my company, we mail out postcards on a consistent basis. It's automated through a software. Now, what I did was I calculated, we have a tracking number on the postcards, or we'll ask, where did you get our number, right? So I found out that for every 500 postcards that we mail, we get 10 phone calls. It's not a lot, right? Some people would say, man, I mailed to 500 houses and I got 10 phone calls. Okay, that's not how you look at it. I'm going to tell you exactly how to pull that lever and crank out revenue for your company. All right. So for my company, we mail for every 500 postcards, we get 10 phone calls. For every 10 phone calls, we get one job from postcards because different marketing brings in different ROI, return on investment. We found out over a 4-month period, May, June, July, August, that's consistent. 500 postcards, 10 phone calls, one job. We calculated that for each month, that one job equals out between $9,000 to $12,000. And it's consistent. So what does that tell you? If I know 500 postcards brings in $9,000, then if I mail 1,000 postcards, I'll bring in $18,000. If I mail out 1,500 postcards, I'll bring in whatever that is, right? So let's say 500 postcards brings in 10K. 1,000 postcards brings in 20K. 1,500 brings in 30K. 2,000 brings in 40K. So it becomes a lever that you pull because now you know exactly how many leads turns into jobs. So now you know two things. One, how many leads I need to get a job and how to crank on that lever, right? So one, it tells me my closing rate that maybe I can change my sales process. But number two, I can say, hey, I need an extra $20,000 this month. I know 500 postcards brings in 10K. So this week, I'm going to mail 1,000 and I'm going to get my 20,000. Okay, let me show you how the money levers work. So you're going to program, you're going to figure out, and this is the software that I use to run my company. You are going to set your weekly marketing mix based on how much money you need to bring in to put on the schedule. So to give you this example, if I know that I need to bring in $1,000 this week, well, I've done through my data, 18 door hangers brings in $1,000 worth of work. So I need 1,000. So I'm going to go ahead and put out some door hangers this week. Boom. Once they're done, that's done, right? What if I need 10K? Then I know, hey, 18 door hangers brings in 1,000. Let's go do that. And then a certain amount of postcards will bring in another 2,000, right? So then I mail a certain amount of postcards. Boom, that's done. I make a post on Nextdoor. Every time I post on Nextdoor, gets 5 or 6 leads. Out of every 5 or 6 leads, I get one maintenance. I make about 300. So I'm going to go ahead and make a Nextdoor post this week. And you put your marketing mix based on the data that you have. And that's how it works. So let's recap a little bit. Is we need to go into our data. We need to be asking customers where they heard from us, or we need to put a tracking number or a scannable QR code on every advertisement so that we can know how many leads this source brings in. And then for the amount of leads, how many customers do we get and how much money does that make? So then I'll know 100 leads equals 2 customers equals $1,000. So if I want $1,000, I'm going to mail 100 of these. If I want $2,000, I'm going to mail 200 of these. If I want $3,000, I'm going to mail 300 of these. And it becomes very predictable. That's how you spread your marketing because you know it's faithful. $1,000 on this, $200 on this, $300 on this, $400 on this. And you pull those levers each week to make a predictable amount of leads. Now, what that also does is it tells you what your conversion rate is, right? The truth shall set you free. Once you start looking at that and you're saying, hey, for every 500 postcards I mail, I get 10 calls and I close one. What if I up that a little? Why am I only closing one out of 10 calls? And it forces you to start looking at your sales process and your follow-up process because you're tracking your conversion of your whatever it is. If it's a postcard and you're saying out of 500, I'm getting 10. What if I change the offer on the postcard or change the design? Then the next month you notice, hey, I got 20 phone calls from that. Or if it's a Facebook ad, for every $1,000 I spend, I get 20 leads. What if I change the design or change the message or change what I'm standing in front of in the video? Then now I'm getting 30 leads. And because I changed my sales process, for every 30, instead of closing 2, I'm closing 5. Now you're starting to really crank it up because you're really paying attention. So these are money levers. This is intentional marketing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I hope you learned something from this. Have a good day.